Even though this is going to be, generally speaking, a positive video in regards to Tim Pool, just because he's trending, don't think that I'm going to be switching up. The same caveats do apply. Massive inspiration for this channel. I was watching his stuff in 2020, okay, his individual segments along back when, Timcast IRL, the podcast itself, was actually something that you could watch because he actually had some people that were on there that he could bounce ideas off of. Shout out Adam Krigler. But he's still that arrogant, marginally talented, averagely intelligent individual. But in this case, man, he hasn't said anything that's incorrect. And for people to try to hold that against him, case in point, somebody that I've actually done a video on, and again, if you want to stay ahead of the curve, all you need to do is just follow your boy, and I called this out as just being a total grift off rip, and lo and behold, here we are. Kelly Cadigan, if you remember, it was a couple of weeks ago during the Bud Light stuff. Kelly is a trans something or other, transformer, a trans gentleman who has tried to fit the niche of, I don't even know the proper way to put it. You can just even read the bio. The Pick Me Barbie. Okay. Professional hypocrite. Keep that in mind. IG, TikTok, Kelly Cadigan, pronouns pick/me. Ha ha ha. Where's the make mention if you're supposed to be this conservative trans person, that you're a dangle removal enthusiast? Where's the mention of that? Oh, okay, right. But Kelly got very offended by this tweet. The attempt to normalize men having homosexual sex with a surgical wound grafted into another man's pelvis is quite alarming. Okay, I don't know what he's quote tweeting over that, but we got some other tweets as well that we're going to take a look at on Tim's timeline that have really attracted the ire of a bunch of people. And yeah, no, nothing inherently wrong with that. Trans men or I don't know. I don't really care either, outside of just doing the Bud Light stuff and then the odd video that comes out throughout the day about odd people. All the proper trans naming stuff, it just doesn't make sense. The dude with the long hair and the fake tits. Okay, good. Yeah, we got it. Okay. Took offense to that biological fact. It's like if a guy is boning another guy, last time I checked for the past millennia or so, that's gay. That's big gay. But take a look at this conservative fighter who's not going to take offense to anything. Again, I called it out weeks ago. I was supposed to go on Tim Pool. Sorry. I was supposed to go on Tim Pool tomorrow, but I'm refusing after this. You can say whatever you want, but I'm not associating with somebody who calls my vagina a wound. Well, by the textbook definition, it is something that you need to consistently dilate, otherwise it'll close up and heal as your body is designed to do. But regardless of it, of if it's scientifically accurate or not, it's disrespectful as fuck, and I won't stand for it. You're so offended that you need to abbreviate as fuck. Interesting. And that's another reason that I don't like Tim Pool. Okay, for as much praise as he's going to get for being relatively, I don't know, fucking normal in the grand scheme of things, Tim Pool on Twitter is different than Tim Pool on YouTube because, okay, he wants to tread the line. He understands a lot more than he lets on. I think everybody who's ever watched his content or continues to do also notices that as well. Like, he got all the smoke during the Eliza Blue stuff, and hey man, I'm not gonna lie, greatly benefited off of that for calling out his hypocrisy. And all of that outrage just kind of evaporated like a fart in the wind because he could just kind of pass it off to, what's his name, Shane Cashman, that was down there. Oh, it was just a journalist that's out there. That's totally fine. And oh, look, Eliza continues to be a clown show independent of me calling my audience programmable bots. Okay, well, whatever. And then, ooh, take a look. We're going to go handpick one of the tiniest brains from the bread tube community, plunk them on the panel, and then walk them through a simple abortion thought experiment, and then dunk on them. Owning them, owning the commies, dunking on socialists. It's so easy, Tim, so Chad. Like, It's like, the serfs in general are some of the biggest proponents, and they use all of the dirty tactics when it comes to deplatforming somebody, so they might just flag that video as harassment and bullying because the fucking potato-shaped head-having motherfucker is liable to go to the ends of the earth to get your, platforms taken down. But to each their own. It's a risk worth taking, I guess. I don't know how much traction he got. I think he just kind of holds firm at that 35,000 people a night that he streams to, which it's not nothing. I'm not trying to take him away. Not trying to take it away from him on that. He's built something up. and surrounded himself with yes men, and it's never going to grow. It's not really going to diminish until something else comes along that's a little bit better. But yeah, if you're going to be having another obvious grifter like that, game recognizes game, right? You put him on the panel, and now he's offended because you make it biological fact. That's kind of odd as well. But Tim's Twitter, yeah, for as many incongruent statements that he'll make on this platform as opposed to his YouTube persona, every once in a while he makes a funny joke, which is few and fucking far between, okay? Maybe if he puts solar panels on his chrome dome as opposed to wearing the beanie all the time, he'd be able to power a unique thought and come up with a new story that he hasn't repeated ad nauseum every day. Anyways, the worst thing about COVIDiots is how they leave their vaccines everywhere. They just has a needle on the ground. That's funny. That's really not bad. It's not bad. You could definitely, I could hear Mitch Hedberg telling that joke. It's really not all that bad, okay? The worst thing about COVIDiots is they leave the vaccines everywhere on the streets of Portland and Seattle. It's wild. You see all this stuff on the ground. Hey, man. It's not bad. It's really not bad. It's better than his music. 100%. Yeah, man. Don't take his shit seriously, okay? And Joe Biden is the greatest president of this or any generation, fight me, and then posts an AI-generated picture of Trump and Dragon Ball Z, which is actually pretty fucking rad, but yeah, it's a stream of consciousness. It's a shit-posting account, okay? But yeah, the pick-me tranny all of a sudden got big mad about, Tim just touching a topic that I don't really think that he'd go into as much detail on his channels because he is all about the bag. He understands all of this stuff, and the way that he moves in private life is substantially different, shout out to Adam Krigler for shining a light on this, than what he does in front of the camera. And that's why I can't respect him. Peeking behind the curtain, you see a different character than what you see on screen. It's a level of incongruency that I'm not a fan of. Again, I can respect him for his hard work and his ability to mold and adapt and weaponize the algorithm to his benefit on YouTube, but it's the same level of praise that I'd have for Jeff Bezos. Congratulations on making the most successful company in the history of the world, but you're still wifing up a 46-year-old somebody else's leftovers. What the fuck are you doing? But anyways, what's he talking about here? A neovagina is a surgical wound that will close if not dilated with a medical device. The purpose of a neovagina is for homosexual male to penetrate for sexual pleasure. This is not disrespectful. This is factual. What's even wilder is, wasn't Bruce, oh, not Big Bruce, Caitlyn. Wasn't Caitlyn Jenner dating a female? And I don't know if he had any nip tuck surgeries or anything like that. He got the titties, he grew out his hair, but outside of that, I'm not entirely sure of anything of that, but pretty sure he was dating a woman as well. But yeah, okay, so that's factual. I literally don't care about other people's predilections. I think the refusal to acknowledge the fact is due to a person's internal refusal to accept the truth. They are afraid. Again, this is Tim he's correct, but he's also projecting the imbalance in his own life. I'm not saying that it's this specific take is wrong. It's just him thinking that he's the the giga brain in the room and everybody else is stupid. But oh, and see, there's the serfs once again. You got dunked on, and then you come back in order to try to ratio somebody who's 1,000 times more successful than you. Okay, really working overtime to beat those weird charges, eh? What weird charges? It's weird that you're saying basic things offends you guys. That's basically the point. Yeah, that's a stiff comeback for somebody who got so thoroughly fucking beat in 4K. Sucks to suck, I guess. But what caught my eye recently was, well, not the same picture every time, Tim says something inflammatory that goes around right there. Oh, see, look, Tim's bald. We know. He doesn't take off the beanie. Everybody who's ever been around him says he's bald. And it's okay, cool. It's one of the biggest open secrets since Rob Halford. Hey, guys, guess what? He likes to suck dick. Big shock. The leather, the chains, and the whips weren't enough of a tell to begin with. Just start to do some lyrical breakdowns of Sad Wings of Destiny album or peek some of the lyrics from Point of Entry. I know, right? It's all big weird. So if we can just be the adults in the room for a second and divorce the message from the messenger, we might be able to accomplish something. I know, right? Start complimenting liberal women by telling them they look like either Dylan Mulvaney or Lizzo. What do you talk about here, Tim? Wow, you're almost as good looking as Lizzo. Well, yeah, okay. Additional context would be required. I don't necessarily know if he put that in there or I don't know, maybe just me reading that, and it's like, oh, okay, cool. Those are the same chicks that will always tell you, liberal ones that are out there, that Lizzo's stunning and brave and beautiful, love your curves, girl, and trans women are women, so why not take the two most extreme examples? And hey, if they're brave, beautiful women, wouldn't you like to be compared to against somebody who is also brave and beautiful? The logic checks out, right? But yeah, apparently got some smoke for this, which totally doesn't make any sense at all. Why would anybody be offended by this? If you're on the left, you think Mulvaney and Lizzo are beautiful, so there's nothing wrong with what I said. The only reason anyone would get offended by this is if they were disgusted by Mulvaney and Lizzo. Capitalization on Mulvaney, Tim. But that's right, you hired editors afterwards. But no, maybe that's why you should have had Kelly, whatever, Cadigan, used to be a dude, whatever the last name of that tranny you got big mad at, stormed off of your show. Professional hypocrite, right? Well, yeah, no, that's just what you're pointing out right there. But let's see, because I got the article pulled up. What are they talking about specifically? Tim Pool shredded for saying liberal women should be complimented by comparing them to Lizzo or Dylan Mulvaney. Yeah, isn't this kind of a big cell phone in and of itself? I'm thinking so. Tim Pool was trolled for a tweet asking people to compliment liberal women by comparing them to Lizzo or Dylan Mulvaney. In a recent tweet, we already read it. Okay, that's fantastic. Tim Pool has been blasted for inappropriate social media posts in the past as well, including his comments on the mass shooting at a Colorado gay club, wherein he called the meetups a grooming event. Well, if the shoe fits. Aim center mass so far that the shoes fall off upon impact. Okay. We shouldn't tolerate pedophiles grooming kids, Pool tweeted. Club Q had a grooming event. How do prevent the violence and stop the grooming? Yo, man, don't tweet after your drinking shows. Just saying. Pool had tweeted at the time, following which he was met with massive social media outrage. See what they have to do right here? This is a skeezy media trick, okay, because you don't necessarily have a rebuff for the tweet that's, getting traction right now, because the logic it kind of checks out, because either you expose the hilarity that is, saying that a 500-pound walrus is just as beautiful as Jennifer Connelly in the 1990s, or a dude is simply as attractive as early 2000s Scarlett Johansson, or you expose that entire methodology as just being absolutely ludicrous, which everybody can see. So yeah, if you put it into practice, you can just walk them down that thought experiment just the same way that, I don't know, one of those, champagne socialists from the serfs was walked through at the same time. So yeah, no, it totally makes sense. I don't know the specifics about Club Q here, but what does that have to do with the original set of tweets? Nothing. You just need to have outrage and fill out a word quota, I guess. Reason controversies around Mulvaney and Lizzo. We know Mulvaney's effectively killed off the biggest beer brand in America, and Lizzo's too fat to fly coach. Like, okay, cool, fantastic. You just kind of missed on the whole Tim Pool outrage part. Social media users slam Pool for his recent tweets, with one user saying, see, you can't even quote it. Oh, there it is. Okay, you steal everything. Do you even have original idea that is yours? Wait, what? Okay. No, man, I think he's a hack, but you're going to make vague claims like this, and obviously this is just a hit piece. You don't even make reference to any allegations that Tim stole anything. Like, he's disingenuous and a completely hypocritical person, but a thief? I don't really know about that. Tim, you think liberal women are worried about what you think is attractive? You suave master of dating, you. Again, like, divorce the message from the messenger, and you realize that, ooh, yeah, maybe this ideology is kind of fucking stupid. Said one user, you have no idea how inspired I am this very minute. One user said sarcastically, yo, is this the roasting? Is this the what was this called? Shredded. This is the shredding? Bruh. Tim has a way better quality of detractors than this. Come on, man. Come on. Yo, that guy's got an L right in the middle of his name, okay? If we're just going to make ad hominem attacks, why would you listen to anybody that has L right there in his name? It kind of presupposes the conclusion. I'm sure most women will be so warm and understanding when met with such a compliment. Am I right? One user said, and another jokes. That's why, again, it's kind of like with the Rollo Tomasi. Oh my God, he's telling men to get vasectomies. No, quickest path to becoming a high-value man. Jim said, liberal women. Liberal women who accept the ideology that gender and beauty are all social constructs. I'll roll back in their face. They're voluminous faces. So another said, dude, that's an excellent joke. Oh my god, you're a genius. Do you write your own material? Did somebody come up with this beforehand? Like, I just kind of think that it's pointing out the obvious, but you guys aren't really, digging into this. It's sad. That's all they had. Yo, what the... Yeah, no, this is just trying to glom onto a hot topic. Hotter than Lizzo and hotter than a guy. Okay, so yeah, let's keep it a buck. Tim's Twitter feed, for as many cringy things as he does, he's not wrong. He's actually pretty based in this account. Now, if you could just take that same energy from Twitter and put it over to YouTube, there might actually be something worth listening to there. But, hey man, you need to milk the normies for all of the super chats. He's still #1 for a reason. There's a reason Daily Wire tried to sign him to a contract. He fits like a glove with that organization. But, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.